Hey, what's poppin', y'all, man? It's the coolest dude on YouTube, man. Been off for a few days, man. Been organizing because what it is, I got some goodies coming up, dog. Y'all, you know what I mean? Peep this. I got like all the groups as far as like the 2-man solo groups, 3-man groups, 4-man groups, 5-man groups, breaking them up, and I'm gonna make them all like, you know what I'm saying, celebrate with each other. In other words, you know what I'm saying. So that's what I've been doing. Then I've been grabbing all the females, you know what I'm saying, trying to not versus them, but a celebration. In other words, you know what I'm saying, picking two of the greatest artists and putting all they bangers together, man. If y'all look on my page real good, I got Puffy and Dre. You know what I'm saying? That's a banger right there. I picked all the top videos, put them back to back, and it's like a celebration, man. Two of the most prolific producers in the game. So, we ain't got nothing to do with that right now, though. What we doing right now, though, this is politics right here. Now, P gang. I remember we couldn't even vote, y'all. You feel me? Now, P gang, they sending the ballots and shit like way ahead of time now. Look, you know what I'm saying? They want us to get our vote on. You feel me? But I don't even know who all the candidates is. All I knew was Trump and Biden. So we finna fumble through right quick and see who else is gonna run. And then it's like this particular video right here shows that Desantis drops out of the race, but he endorses Trump. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see why he did that, why he dropped out or whatever. And then another thing I want to make a point about. We need to stop really trying to go for all the older dudes to be the president. It's a lot of very intelligent, smart, younger people, man. We need people that can get into the office, and if they, 50. You know what I'm saying? So they spend the 4 years, 54. Then, you know what I'm saying? If they happen to get a second term, they'll be 58. They'll still be way younger than what the presidents are today. You know what I mean? Because we don't want them to be out there forgetting shit. You know what I'm saying? You forget the bomb code. You know what I mean? It's like that's not a good look for our country. You know what I'm saying? So what we about to do, man, we finna like, fumble through these presidents and we're gonna basically, see who we gonna all vote for. I got my ballots. We the people, our votes count, our votes make them. You know what I mean? So without us, they can't get in position. So you know what I mean? So we finna see what's going on right quick, man. All right, let me see now. All right, so far, my understanding, we got regular, Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? Which is the current president. He's 82 years old. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was just speaking on it. We got Dean Phillips, a moderate Democrat elected to the House in 2018, has few major policy disagreements with President Biden and has supported his agenda in Congress, but argues that Mr. Biden's age and low approval rating means the party should nominate someone else, which I just said that. That's real talk, though. We need some young energy in the building. All right, now on the Republican side, we got Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Now he's 78 years old. You know what I mean? Now, former President Donald Trump is running to retake the office he lost in 2020, then denied losing to the point of inciting a mob of his supporters to attack the United States Capitol. Now, when the thing about Trump is like, would you let him be president when he was willing to let, the Russian president, in on NATO secrets and, and to tell on NATO or whatever, you know what I mean? How you gonna turn against your own neighboring folks, man? So it's like that's scary right there. Plus he's older too. Now Pete Gang, I never heard of her before, whatever, but I assume or allegedly Nikki Haley is running, a former governor and United ambassador. She's 53 years old. Okay, we need that young love. You know what I mean? Nikki Haley, a former governor of South Carolina and United Nations ambassador under Mr. Trump, has presented herself as a member of a new generation of leadership and emphasized her life experiences as a daughter of an Indian immigrants. We all got Indians in our family, though. Quiet's kept, you know what I mean? Now, P Gang, now, I don't know who dude is, but his name is Ryan Binkley, 57 years old. See, you know what I'm saying? I'm the spiffy guy for 55. You feel me? So Ryan Binkley, he's 57. and is the president of mergers and acquisitions firms and the pastor of Texas Church. He has never held or run for elected office before. All right. So now we got Robert F. Kennedy Jr. We already had a Kennedy, man. You know what I mean? Hey, we don't want no repeats, man. We know you ain't your daddy, your uncle. But look, Robert F. Kennedy, a nephew of former president, former President John F. Kennedy, is a prominent anti-vaccine activist. He initially ran for the Democratic nomination before announcing in October that he will run as an independent instead. You know what I mean? Now we got Cornel West, which is a professor and a progressive activist. You feel me? He's 72 years old. And Cornel West is taught at Yale, Princeton, and Harvard, and is currently a professor of philosophy at Union Theological Seminary. He is known for his progressive activism, including his sharp criticism of former President Barack Obama. You know what I'm saying? People always got something to say about somebody. You know what I mean? Now, P. Gang, Jill Stein, a doctor and an activist. She a doctor. So it's like if she's the president, she can help save somebody on duty. You know what I mean? Now, her name is Jill Stein, a physician who ran for president on the Green Party ticket in 2012 and 2016, is seeking the party's nomination for a third time in a video announcing her campaign. She called for an economic bill of rights. That would include a guaranteed right to employment, health care, housing, food, education, and also highlighted support for combating climate change and protecting abortion and transgender rights. You know what I mean? So we need some young love in the office, man. That's all I can say. Now I'm gonna have to read these pamphlets, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, research everybody or whatever, you know what I mean? But that's our job, to research and see what they got to offer before we just put the bubble in. You feel me? We the people, we the ones can put them in office or not. So we finna get into this video though, man, with Desantis, because what it is, dog, he had dropped out. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's wrong with everybody right now, man. So what we gonna do is we already done ran through that. So we finna go on and get into this video, man, with you see, it's yeah, DeSantis gives up and he endorses Trump. So that's what we about to do, man. We be right back. Holler at your boy.
Good morning and welcome to Rising. Thanks for joining us. How was your weekend, Brianna?
It was good, uneventful, restful, positive. And I'm really interested to get into all of the news that I was blocking out. I was trying to get some peace over the weekend. How about yourself?
Yes, same. There was obviously some big news yesterday, which we're going to get to right now. Take it away, Brianna.
That's right, Robbie. Ron DeSantis has dropped out of the 2024 presidential race. The Florida governor made the announcement yesterday after coming in third place during last week's Iowa caucuses.
There was anything I could do to produce a favorable outcome, more campaign stops, more interviews, I would do it. But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory.
DeSantis also dropped his endorsement.
It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance. They watch his presidency get stymied by relentless resistance, and they see Democrats using lawfare this day to attack him. Well, I've had disagreements with Donald Trump, such as on the coronavirus pandemic and his elevation of Anthony Fauci. Trump is superior to the current incumbent, Joe Biden. That is clear. I signed a pledge to support the Republican nominee, and I will honor that pledge. He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear.
President Trump said he was honored to receive DeSantis' support.
Before we begin, I'd like to take time to congratulate Ron DeSantis and, of course, a really terrific person who I've gotten to know, his wife, Casey, for having run a great campaign for president. He did. He ran a really good campaign, I will tell you. It's not easy. They think it's easy doing this stuff, right? It's not easy.
All right, see, now, I'm leaning towards Trump. But then it's like, he had some little messed up little situations or whatever, but you can't judge books by their cover. You know what I'm saying? So I know that Biden I'm gonna come with a video about it. It's like how he basically forgets or he don't know how to correctly speak, you know what I'm saying, without actually reading, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that's like a puppet president. We need somebody that can really get in there, handle the business, man. We need some young president. It's like just say if Oprah ran, Tyler Perry, you know, or something like that. You know what I mean? Not that because they black, but I'm just saying the power that they got, the billionaire status that they got, they could do a lot. You know what I'm saying? We're going to finish this up, though, real quick. Let's go.
But as you know, he left the campaign trail today at 3 p.m., and in so doing, he was very gracious, and he endorsed me, so I appreciate it. I appreciate that, and I also look forward to working with Ron and everybody else to defeat crooked Joe Biden.
Trump even vowed to drop his most famous nickname for the governor.
Okay.
He just said, will I be using the name Ron DeSanctimonious? I said, that name is officially retired.
Now, before we get started, there's a lot of people, you know, just in case, don't know. It's our job to kind of like give you heads up on what's going down. So, therefore, when Ron DeSantis decided to endorse Trump, an endorsement is an act of giving one's public approval or support to someone or something. You know what I mean? That means it's like, I nominate you. Y'all know how we used to do in school, and then we have to like pick who we thought would be the president or the king of the class or the whoop. And, you know, we had to do the little ballots in school. You know what I'm saying? Same thing, but this is way far more important, man. We don't want no leaders that could be eventually crooked in the end. The ones that hold the key and the, you know, the code to the atom bombs and to the missiles and shit. You know what I'm saying? We're going to finish it off, though, man. Ron DeSantis drops out 2024 presidential race and endorses Trump. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see how this go this year, man. I think in November, we got to put the get down. So everybody, man, I encourage you, you know what I'm saying, go on and look over all the candidates real good. You know what I'm saying? I got my ballot already. I ain't even cracked it open. But, you know, I'm going to really, really study everybody, and that's how I'm going to pin it in, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Well, tomorrow, New Hampshire Republican primary voters will take to the ballot box to cast their vote for either former President Trump or his one remaining challenger, Nikki Haley. A CNN poll taken last weekend finds Trump is in the lead with 50% of the vote. Haley trails 39% for her. So the exit of Ron DeSantis from the campaign, seeing a lot of reaction to that. Obviously, there is a perhaps not wrong perception that he ran a really bad campaign, that there was a lot of promise and hope vested in him that he squandered for a variety of reasons. For my part, I don't know that the campaign was so badly run. Rather, there was just really not a lot of chance for him once the prosecutions of Trump started coming in, focused the spotlight back onto Trump, and made so many of the very conservative Republican primary voters who DeSantis was hoping to inherit from Trump become more militant and more strident about sticking with Trump because of the perception that he's being persecuted, and that made it very difficult for DeSantis, although there's obviously a lot more you can say.
I don't know. I find this to be a little bit confusing. If the argument is that I'm the backup Trump, then the need for a backup Trump still exists given the reality of Trump's legal woes. And although I understand that there are ultimately some money problems that Ron DeSantis was encountering, his money problems have nowhere near the gravity of some of these smaller candidates who have managed to stay in with very little outside contribution and much less personal wealth than someone like Ron DeSantis. I'm thinking, for example, of someone like Marianne Williamson or even like a Cenk Uygur. So it is confusing to me why there's still not the same incentive to at least, you could staff down, you could weather the storm of a bunch of newspapers writing that you have basically a phantom campaign, but at least you're still in the running, and there's a different kind of humiliation that comes with dropping out so early in this contest when you announced, it was almost presumed that he was going to beat Donald Trump. Do you remember us sitting here, everyone saying Trump's campaign announcement was low energy, Ron DeSantis was the one that was, now we know, peaking in the polls. That was as high as it ever got for him. And so it does confuse me a little why he would drop out at this stage unless there is an attempt to eat into any momentum that Nikki Haley can get out of New Hampshire and have Trump benefit from the fact that these DeSantis voters and Trump voters largely overlap, and that Trump is likely to get the benefit of Ron DeSantis no longer competing in that race.
Well, if you think about it from DeSantis' perspective, obviously he wanted to be the nominee. If he's conceding he's not going to be the nominee, he'd rather the nominee be Trump than Haley, because
Sure.
if Haley is the nominee and Haley wins, Haley could be president for 8 years, and that pushes DeSantis' aspirations further down the line.
Sure, but that kind of presupposes that Nikki Haley has a real legitimate chance of beating Donald Trump, as opposed to, again, if they're both competing for what if Donald Trump drops out, and he's not in the race at all, then what does Nikki Haley really have to do with it?
No, he wants, it's just like you said, he can get out now, shore up Trump's support, make sure Trump defeats Haley for the nominee, Trump will be the candidate.
But Trump not winning is not about Trump not being able to beat Haley in the primary. It would be about Trump being precluded from running because of some legal issue, right? So again, I don't understand the logic behind this.
I mean, there's not enough. He probably perceives there isn't any momentum on his side. Yes, he could wait it out. Yes, he could take the chance that somehow Trump is going to be knocked out by the legal situation, the constitutional situation, and then also overcome Haley, something that is seeming, I think, increasingly unlikely, as she's gonna have this potentially do well, and he was going to do better in New Hampshire than he was going to do. I don't know. I think there's an idea that the wheels were falling off, that he didn't have a lot of some of his supporters, some of his donors had switched from his camp to Haley's camp.
Yeah, one thing informing my views here are remembering that Joe Biden came in fifth in New Hampshire back in 2020. The idea of doing poorly in one of these early contests really doesn't mean much of anything at all. I do wonder, however, if this has something to do with shoring up his relationship with Donald Trump, whose endorsement he might need for a subsequent round at this. Ron DeSantis is a young guy. He's really dealt with the problem of being from Donald Trump's state, two Florida men, competing for the same audience. I've seen so many interviews of people in Florida being asked what they feel about these two candidates and saying, oh, I just wish they could work together. I like both of them. He was a good governor, even if I don't want to vote for him as president. And I do wonder if dropping out at this stage earns him some goodwill. Trump retiring Ron DeSanctimonious and meatball Ron,
all but the,
and so that they have more. He's a unity candidate, and they're able to actually have a good effort going forward in 4 years from now.
Except for the most toxically online pro-DeSantis and pro-Trump people who really do hate each other. There's some love lost there. Slightly reminiscent of like Bernie bros versus Hillary people kind of levels of dislike. That's a small corner, but for the most part, I think this feud is going to be forgotten. I mean, you saw Trump there. The feud is over for him. He doesn't care now. Trump follows a very basic attack strategy. Like if you're running against him, if you're speaking against him, you're against him. He's going to attack you. The second that's over, it's over. If DeSantis is,
but it's over because he dropped out. That's
right,
my point.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. It's not going to. So DeSantis will be welcomed back into the Trump fold and can be on good terms with all the Trump people, and will be. Now we're going to go back to remembering what a great COVID governor he is, and how he fights woke the way conservatives want, and he will still have a bright future ahead of him.
It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to.
Yeah. Well, we have much more rising coming up. Stick around. Stay tuned.
All right, man. All right, so what I say is basically exercise your rights, man, and basically fumble through the whole get down. Like, study everybody before you make a decision. If you're a Democrat, you don't necessarily have to vote just all Democrat. That's what I've been doing all my life, because there may be some Republicans that, you know what I'm saying, that do a better job than the Democrat that we voting for. So we got to read their credentials, man, and just see what they're about. We up out of here, man. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, man. Vote or die. You know what I mean? Our country, man, we need another life, man. We need a wake-up call, man. We need a better leader, man. Come on, Obama. You know what I'm saying? No, we up out of here, though, man. I love y'all, man. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Holla at your boy. Hit
Squad. And Reckless. You know what I'm saying? MC Doc, baby. We came to do this. You heard?